Yo, what's up, guys? We got a whole bunch of events to go through, so let's just go through all of them, and they're mostly related on the 12th anniversary event. So first of all, we're gonna have the World 37 or World Arena Season 37 thing starting, which is going to be the unicorn skin. Was already leaked because you could see it through the challenge arena where you can change skins, and then this thing was already in there for the Diana. Looks like a pretty decent skin. It's not the most of used units these days, but yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Then we have the Dr. Plasma, which is the one that was already leaked. Only thing that apparently was wrong was that this was saying a 0417, but it is a 13 and it's gonna be released on the 13th. That thing looks kind of wonky, I'm not gonna lie. Freaking Dr. Plasma. Skills that we have so far is skill 1 is transferring a harmful effect granted on the enemy towards, or from yourself towards the enemy. If you don't have any harmful effects, you get 10% bar. Sure. Remove all harmful effects granted on yourself, then attack all enemies to decrease their defense by 2 turns. With probably a 60 to a 70-ish rate. Most of the time 75-ish. So, it's okay for an S2. These S1 and S2 will be shared through other units as well. So I'm like, doesn't sound like that much, but then again, it does depend a lot on like leader skills, speed, awakenings, that kind of good stuff. Skill 3 is where we have attack all enemies to steal their beneficial effects. Ooh, that's an AoE steal. Increase your attack bar for each beneficial effect removed. Okay, so that could be a full bar if they have a lot of buffs. So into the buffing meta that we have right now might seem okay-ish, but as I mentioned, really does depend on like base stats, leader skills, and most of the time they don't show the most OP one out of those out there. So could be a something, could be a something. Then we have the 12th anniversary for a bonus scroll, which is use 10 of these, get one of these, use 30 of these, get one of these, most likely, right? Is that exactly what it is? I think that is exactly what it is, and that's gonna happen the moment the update happens until the 10th of May. So that's pretty much a long one right there. New monster update, special thingy, whatever, sure thing. So you just summon some stuff and you get a bunch of rewards. The typical stuff that you mostly clear in the first day because you save some mystical scrolls, at least if you're doing it right. Then we have a new and returning exclusive special missions for newer players, legendaries, devilmons, and mystical scrolls. Okay, so this is like a really on beginner event. What do we have over here? A bunch of unknown scrolls. Yeah, we have a bunch of rune sets. That's always really boosting off the early game, including even these kind of things. This is also on normal Abyss Plus. That's fairly easy to do. So getting these rune sets in on a beginner account are, yeah, that's a decent beginner event right there. Something is not seen just yet, and I kind of went through it, is that you get a free fusion unit, but let's see if that maybe comes later. This will pretty much hyper boost you getting your homunculus, which is really nice. Bunch of these, that's all fine, that's all fine. Giving a bunch more gems and stuff, that's cool. Giving you a lot of dimensional hole energy, so it will boost your 2As pretty quickly, that's cool. Legendary rune, okay. So that's about that. Okay, so it's a bunch of runes, it's a bunch of your homunculus boost, and then it's a bunch of dimensional hole boost. So you don't get a fusion for free that we have seen in the past with those. So that's not the best of beginner events, but a pretty solid beginner event. Does that mean I will start making the beginner series right away on the 13th? No. I will probably do it like a week later or a week and a half later or something like that. Because first there's a lot of videos to make about these kind of things. And then later on, I will have a little bit more time and then I start the beginner series. So I'm not going to start the beginner series right away from the first day, I think. What is this? We will have some mutual social points. This is probably just sending out social points and you get a bunch of rewards if you send out those social points, and you get the 12-year special scrolls with that, which are just like the 12-year anniversary scrolls, I guess. So this is going to be a, yeah, just all elements, 3 to 5 star kind of stuff. Probably similar rate towards the 11th anniversary scroll and that kind of stuff. Then we have a few new scrolls, which were also already leaked earlier, that I showed this picture earlier. What is exactly on those new scrolls? So we got a 12-year legendary scroll, and we got a 12-year LD scroll. Okay, interesting. So you have to do a whole bunch of these things, sure, a whole bunch of these things, and then you get the LD scroll and you select the attribute. Okay, interesting. So you can select light or dark. I will check for a second what I would recommend most people to go into. I would recommend probably to go into dark because dark has more interesting LD4s, and most of the time, if you get anything, it's rather a 4 than a 5, right? But yeah, that's where you get all of those. So these are the light and dark scrolls, and you choose them from the attributes at a random fixed rate. So okay, you choose light or dark for that. What do we have over here? 12-year legendary scrolls, celebrate the anniversary. Yup, you summon a fire, water, wind, and an additional same default value. Wait. When you summon a this, okay, an additional monster of the same grade will be summoned. So, okay, so if you get... This is straight up a blessing always, then in that case. But wait. No. So I think for the normal one, you just get simply, you get 2. Because it doesn't mention the choice. But when you summon a light and dark, you get the choice between 1 or 2. Damn. That's a scroll and a half. So if you pull an LD5 on this will always be an LD5 blessing. That's quite the something right there. You have to get lucky enough to get the LD5 on this because this scroll probably has the same rates as a all attribute, and I think an all attribute is 0.4% chance to get one in there, which you still need like what 250 all attributes to actually get anywhere. Don't even know if that's correct on the math, but whatever, you need an ungodly amount of all attributes to get to the average rate. So it is cool though. Also for light and darks, it could give you the choice between like an HOH unit and like a Dova or Mirne or something like that. So this scroll is pretty nasty. That's a good scroll right there. And then also the other things out there. I'll check in a second what I would recommend people to go for, light or the dark side. What else do we have? Sky Fever event. Please be a shop where we can actually properly buy things towards the end, where it keeps a reason to keep on farming. Let's see what we have. Use Amira's luck, content drop. Okay, at least we can use, or we can get them from drops again. So it is more than just use your Amira's luck. Thank you, finally. We get a bunch of these over there. That's cool. This is where we get 100 of these. That's really nice. What else do we get? Bunch of the typical stuff. Not that interesting. Then you can buy one of these as well. The crazy good, potentially LD blessing scroll right there. And then we have a bunch of boys over there. And then we have another... wait, is that another one? That's a normal one. Oh, that's another like 100. So you get 200 of those 12-year scrolls. Similar to previous years, I think. And then all of these. Yep. And then we have another set of that. Do we have another bonus? Yeah, it is technically an infinite buy, but it is an infinite buy that ups the cost of this. So good odds that you will be getting a good bit of energy and mystical scrolls, but at some point it's so crazy expensive that you're not really getting more. So it is like without limits. Yeah, but at some point these things are so crazy expensive that is your limit right there. But at least there is a farming event right now, which it's been a while since we had that. So that's good. Farming event is back. Well, we got 2 of those, one of these. That's cool. These we did already read that this is an all thing out there, and this is the same thing as the other one. Not too bad, not too bad. Ooh, another selective net 5. So you're gonna get a selective net 5 on the Summoner's Way. But now we're also gonna get a selection net 5 plus 12 skill ups over here. Wait, but we also select 1 unit on max skill right away. That's a lot of skill ups coming in right there. That is a lot of skill ups coming in right there. Select a summon at 5 of your choice, level it up, the default 5-star. Okay. Selection is 6-star, level 40, awakened. Nice. And then you also have this for using every Amira's luck. Okay. So you only have to use your Amira's luck once, and you have a free summon. So that does mean you have 2 free summons, 2 choices of net 5s with the patch on Monday, most likely. Because the Summoner's Way and then also this thing. That's really insane. That's actually really, really nice for people to Pokédex if you're missing a few units out there. I wonder if the new Dr. Plasmas are allowed to be chosen in here as well. Oh, they cannot be summoned. Dr. Plasmas cannot be, and also the Lord of the Rings collab units cannot be summoned on these. Okay, well, that's fair, I guess. That's fair. So for me, I'm only missing 3 units, so I will pick 2 out of those 3 units at the moment. But yeah, that's... I would recommend, if you want to see what units I recommend to pick from this, I would recommend to check the other video of yesterday. I'll link it in the description down below, of my recommendations of which units I would recommend to put from here, because I just have a bunch of recommendations there. Let's look at the light side or the dark side for this one right here. So I would mainly look at 4-star. Sure, if you get a 5-star, it is kind of nice if you get the side of the element you want. Maybe if you have a lot of LD5s and not that many LD... or let's say you have a lot of light 5s but no dark 5s. Maybe it's one of those choices you can make to lower your chance of getting a dupe. But I think you should kind of make a list for yourself of how many light 4s and how many dark 4s would you like, and make your choice based on that. So for light 4s, it would be probably a Leia Kinky, so that's 2 right there. Dova, that's 3. Maybe a Tableau is 4. And then that is pretty much it for the side of light. Iris could be a thing, so that's 5 by max, but it's already feeling a little bit like 4, 4.5 rather than anything. If we're looking on the dark side, what do we have that could be interesting? Fiona is still really good. That is a 1 right there. Tanjiro's kind of in the mid, so I'm not too sure about that one, to be honest. Moving on. Oh, you could actually go for the Lipal. That could arguably be a 6, but let's say Fiona over here. Truffle, if I think it was HOH by now. We have this one, that's 3. This one, that's 4. On the Robo and the Deborah. Martina, still not a bad unit, 5. These are all HOHs, so it's kind of same-ish, I would say. But I think a lot more people are probably missing like a Deborah and a Robo and a Fiona, because those units are more recent releases rather than some of those lights like a Tableau and those guys and a Dova. Those units are, and Iris, those units are quite a bit older. So I would say probably the dark side is more interesting. If we're looking at dark 5s, yeah, then it really just depends whether your preference goes on dark 5. There's a whole bunch of good dark 5s, such as, of course, like the Aragon is most likely not in-game because they don't have the Summoners War originals yet. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones with like Giannas, Ragdolls, Nefties, Vivachels, like a lot of people like Maximilian. Dark definitely has good 5s as well. For me personally, I would be more leaning towards the 4 or the light 5s. Jesus, I have everything by now. Light 5s because of like Laura and Yan Hong and those kind of units out there. So really just light Huareng, even light Nina still. So light definitely does get my preference, but that's kind of up to you what you depend on. But I would say if you miss a few on the 4s, I would aim that scroll towards the 4. So that's all what we have for the event. We have a farming event once again. Beginner event is kind of decent, except that I'm missing a fusion event. Most of the time there is some kind of fusion event to get your Vermals in really quickly, or even get a Vermals and a Bale or something like that. That's kind of missing in this one. But outside of that, I would say pretty decent events. Scrolls are looking pretty good, especially that scroll where you potentially straight up get a LD Blessing right away, which... that is quite a thing, getting straight up an LD Blessing. That's an insane scroll right there. So, yeah, let's see if we're gonna pull those or not. Most likely not. Either out, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. We are definitely very dry on the LDs and that kind of stuff already, as you can see over here. So, I'm due a few LDs, Mr. Zampetos. Let's see if we can actually make the work, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you as always in the next one.